that step you took. It still matters. You may have forgotten it. You may think it was too small. You may wonder if it meant anything at all. But I saw it. I remember when you whispered that prayer, when you reached out for me, not knowing if I would answer. I did. You didn't see the angels move. You didn't feel the heavens shift. But I did something in that moment that eternity will never forget. You took step, and I received it. That one act of courage, that decision to trust me, that yes, you said in the middle of your fear, it still echoes in my heart. Nothing you've done in faith is ever wasted, not single step. I know there are days you question if you're making progress. You wonder if you're just wandering in circles. You look around and think, have I gone anywhere at all? But let me tell you this truth. Every step of faith you take, no matter how small, is building something eternal. Something you cannot yet see, but I can. You don't walk in vain. You don't trust in vain. You don't obey in vain. When you stood up for what was right, even though you stood alone, I stood with you when you gave out of what little you had, not knowing how you'd make it. I multiplied it when you forgave that person who broke your heart. I smiled because you chose love. When you kept going after hearing no for the 100th time, I strengthened you with my spirit. When you returned to me, when you said, God, I still believe will all of heaven rejoice. You see, child, you measure progress by what you can see, but I measure it by what's happening in your heart. And you've grown more than you know. You think you're stuck. You think nothing's changing. But you've moved mountains in the spiritual realm. You've resisted temptation when no one saw. You've shown kindness when it wasn't returned. You've prayed when you felt nothing. These things matter. To me, they matter. Because every step you take toward me, I take 10 toward you. You're not overlooked. You're not forgotten. You're seen. You're loved. And every time you say yes to me, no matter how tired, no matter how broken you feel, you are writing story that glorifies my name. I know the weight you carry. I know the burdens you bear. But you haven't given up. You may have fallen, but you got back up. You may have stumbled, but you kept moving. And that matters. That moment you said, God, help me. That wasn't weakness. That was power. That was faith. That was me drawing near to you. You don't have to do everything perfectly. I never asked for perfection. I asked for your heart. And you've given it. Imperfect, yes, but sincere. And I delight in that. Every prayer matters. Every tear matters. Every step matters. You might think I'm not where I want to be, but look how far you've come. Look at all the times you could have quit, but didn't. Look at the times you chose to believe even when it was hard. I was watching, and I was proud. I know you've been weary. I know you've been tired of waiting, but I'm still working. Even when it feels slow, even when it feels silent, I'm building something deeper in you, something unshakable. You're not failing. You're growing. Even the smallest seeds take time. Even the strongest trees start beneath the surface. And just like seed doesn't see the sun at first, you may not yet see what's blooming, but you will. In my time, you will. Don't let comparison steal your joy. Don't measure your steps by someone else's pace. This is your journey. This is your story. And I'm walking it with you. When you said, I forgive. When you said, I surrender. When you said, I'm trying, I was there. Every step toward me has meaning, eternal meaning. Even when you feel like you're crawling, even when you're just holding on, that's still step. When you opened your Bible, even though your mind was tired, when you sang worship song with heavy heart, when you chose not to give into bitterness, that was worship, that was love, that was faith in motion. And I remember it all. The world may forget. Others may not notice. But I do, because I'm not looking for grand gestures. I'm looking for your heart. And every time you move toward me, I'm already waiting. You're not behind. You're not lost. You are in my hands. And I'm proud of you. Yes, proud, not because of what you've accomplished, because you're still saying yes, still seeking me, still trying, still hoping. Even with tears in your eyes, you've kept walking. And that step, it still matters. You didn't waste your faith. You didn't waste your obedience. You didn't waste your love. I'm using it all. Every moment, every movement, every tear. I gather them and weave them into a testimony that will shine brighter than you can imagine. So keep going. Keep trusting. Even if all you could do today is breathe and whisper my name. That step, and it's enough. One day you'll look back and see how each little yes changed the course of your life. You'll see the fruit of seeds planted in silence, watered with tears. I am not done with you. There's more ahead, more grace, more strength, more joy. So take heart, beloved. I have never missed a step you've taken in my name, and I never will.